What's up, guys? Weather Wednesday, coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. But today, I am not actually in game at the moment. I am about to watch a video of recordings I made over the course of several weeks of something that nobody really talks about, but affects everybody in the game. And that's Faction Wars. Faction Wars takes a lot of time, but it's something that we do every day in order to get, more than anything else, perception gear. An incredible gear set that everybody needs and everybody should want. But if you don't spend a little bit of time focusing on how to get a faster faction war team, you could be wasting time every day waiting for those teams to go through. So what I did over the course of a few weeks is I tried to take my account and make the fastest teams that I could based on who I had. And what I did several times is we're going to start here with the Banner Lords, and I'll show you I only used 3 champions on this team. And for a lot of the faction war teams, that's what I did. Now I do stage 20. I never do stage 21. I don't even bother with stage 21 during CBC. It's just not worth the time for me. It's not worth the hassle. I'm trying to save time. I'm trying to get my rewards as quickly as possible and move on to other things. So my goal here today is to show you my teams. Maybe it'll help you come up with some ideas for your faction war teams, speed up the process, save you 5, 10, 15 minutes every day. Who knows? And then if any of my teams are a little bit slow and you have a great idea, you can let me know and maybe I can speed up my team as well. We can help each other out. So we're going to start off here with Banner Lords. I'm just going to do a running commentary, throw out some ideas, let you know who the champions are that I use and where I think I could improve. So we're going to start off for Banner Lords. I've got Rhonda, free champion. I've got Stag Knight, and I got the Blade Master. Pretty free to play team, really. I mean, we've got a fusion champ, a free champ, and a epic, and this is a pretty fast team. Banner Lords were a problem for me for a while because I just wasn't getting good hero or good champions in this faction for a long time. I wasn't getting legendaries. I actually think that I can speed up this team because I just pulled Baron. Pretty sure Baron's a Banner Lord and he can cut through that block damage. Block damage can be a real pain. Now high elves, everybody should be able to do pretty quickly as long as you have a decent AoE nuker. As soon as you get Arbiter, of course. Now, I threw in Lysandra as well to help make sure that my champions are always going and the enemies are not going. Dark Elhain, or Supreme Elhain, excuse me, is great because she does have the A3, the AoE on the A3. She cycles through pretty quickly. That was a pretty quick team. Now we got Sacred Order. This team really just improved recently. We got Deacon. I forgot. Bivald, the Thorn. He does damage, and he also happens to have an okay provoke. So that helped out quite a bit. So this team really improved quickly over time. The hardest thing in many of these factions is when you run into an unkillable or block damage, and it sucks the life out of it. So if you can get somebody who takes away or strips buffs, that's really good. It'll really help out a lot of teams. Again, with the block damage, it's really annoying. If you can get consistent AoE stuns or something, that could really help. but still made a pretty fast time here. A little over a minute. I mean, it really depends on a little bit of RNG. Now, none of these teams have I done presets for. So if I actually thought through the teams and made presets, I could probably improve these times if I really thought things through. Barbarians is super easy. First of all, these champions are free for everybody. You get Cell of the Drakes at 6 months for free, and you get Carl from the shop. This is a great team. They got stuns, they got freezes. Carl hits harder than some people realize. Really easy team, and it's a really fast team. I've been using this team for a while, and it's really consistent. Really like this team. Sometimes you just gotta cycle through for your Carl to get his AoEs in. Looks like we got slowed down a little bit here. It's okay, we get through it easy enough. Sometimes, oh, yeah, he even died, but Cell of the Drakes is just too good. So this is probably not even like one of my better times. We'll see. You can see up here how my times compare to like my best times. This did end up taking a little bit longer than I would have liked, but it's still a pretty decent time with at 1:13. So as you can see, my best was 51 seconds. So yeah, that could be a little bit better. There's always going to be some RNG. And we moved on to the Lizardmen. See, I got Pythion, make sure that we stay alive and we keep buffs off of us. I got Ramontu, I got Draco, and I got the Epic Venomage. So this team, actually, I had a pretty slow team for quite a while. This is one of those factions where I just didn't play around with it very much, and it took like 4 or 5 minutes to get through this stage before, and then I came up with this team, and it got much faster. Not in a whole lot of danger of anybody dying, and we got buffs up. They got debuffs on the other team. It goes pretty fast. We're still only on stage 2, so this does take a little bit more time than some of the other factions, but I don't really have like a monster AoE nuker from the Lizardmen. If you do, that's great. Obviously, it'll save you a lot of time. So a lot of these factions, they really depend on what champions you have and who you're willing to build and who you're willing to put your gear on. But now that I've got these set up, obviously I'm going to want to keep gear on these champions just to save me a lot of time. So not a super fast run here, but decent. 1:36. My best time is 1.5 minutes. I'll take that. All right, move on to Ogren Tribes. I really hated this one for a long time, so I really needed to come up with a team that is actually pretty good. Bellower is super helpful with his lockout. I got Biggin helping out with some stuns. Ugo with the block buffs. See, I got who else? I got Ignatius just for some extra damage, and Blizzard, who I don't really love Blizzard, but for me, like I thought it was gonna be helpful potentially in like Fire Knight or something, but really he's mostly a Cursed City and a faction war champion for me. Let me know if like you find him super useful, maybe how you build him, because he's a little bit of a disappointment for me. He can be really annoying in like arena or whatever, just because he's hard to kill, he's hard to keep dead. But if you had like a block revive champion or something, I'd probably take care of him. I just don't tend to bother, because usually people that use him in arena don't really have a great team. He's just annoying to go against. So we got another just over a minute and a half to get through Ogren. This was another one that constantly took like 4, 5, 6 minutes to get through. Orcs was really difficult to get through when I was trying to go for Lydia, but now it's one of my easier ones now that I finally have a seer. But you also throw in Artak. Artak will get anybody through here. I also happen to have Supreme Gaelic, who is an amazing champion, and I also happen to have Warlord, so super lucky on, I don't have a ton of Void champions, or Void legendary champions, but 2 of them happen to be Orcs, and all 4 of these champions are just amazing. So we got through that one really fast. Now the Skinwalkers used to be a pretty weak faction, and then we got ourselves a login champion and a couple of fusions here. This is going to be so fast I can barely talk fast enough to get through it, but I got the Rat King, I got the Bunny, and I got the Monkey King. So 3 of my favorite animals in the game. Get us through here real quick. And, just over 30 seconds. Really like this team. Really fast. 31 seconds. That was my best run to the date of recording. Real fast. If I had a little more damage on them, it would be even better. Here we got the Demon Spawn. A lot of powerful champions in this faction. I got Hefrak not too long ago. I got Helicath quite a while ago now, almost 2 years ago. And then Kaimar, one of my luckiest pulls of all time. And Magnar is just a good damage dealing epic. Doesn't have maybe a ton of usage in the game anymore, but Faction Wars and Curse City, of course, he's really good. And if you're early game, you can definitely use him in like Arena or whatever. Maybe something like Spider, I don't know. Okay, moving on to Undead Hordes. This team, I didn't have the best Undead Horde team, but when I pulled Mashaled recently, he helped out. I really like that champion. I don't use him in a lot of places yet, but I've only had him for a month and a half maybe. I also use Husk. He hits hard and he's got Provoke. I got this. That was Gorgorab, and I got Seeker. Seeker does more damage than I realized when I rebuilt him into my Demon Lord team, and he can actually smack. And then I got Morrigan. She was a fusion champion that I skipped, and then I pulled like the next month, so that was pretty lucky. I skipped her in order to get a champion we'll see in a little bit, Vasily Priest Orn, who's really great, epic. I just didn't have the resources to get her, so plus I had Lysandra already, so I didn't really need her, but she's good for this. And so this still isn't the fastest team. I don't have the best undead champions, but this team's a lot faster than it used to be. I'll put it that way. It used to be a 3 or 4 minute team. Now it looks like just under 2 minutes. Let's see. Get through this last guy here, and minute 48. My best is a minute 36, so not too bad. Moving on to the Dark Elves, and this one might surprise you just a little bit. I've got Ray, and Sylar wouldn't surprise you too much. She's got that great AoE, so you can put her in a stun set. And I got Madame Saris, of course, to make sure that they're not getting their buffs up, but instead they have the defense down. Then Queen Ava, who I'm just throwing there for that little bit of extra damage just in case. This is not actually the fastest team I ever came up with for Dark Elves. But I don't remember what the fastest team was. I had a much faster team. I think might have involved Marinix. I don't remember, but this is the closest I could get to replicating it. But I've had a 30-second team. That was 49 seconds, still decent. Moving on to Knights Rev. Early on, this was one of the harder factions to get through for me, but now it's a lot faster. I got the Statue of Liberty over here, Shimnath. Pretty decent nuker. I've got Theodore and Drang. Walking Tomb Drang and what's her name? Eric's login champion. So this one's going to be a little bit more difficult for some people to replicate. Just getting Theodore is a little bit more difficult, but Drang was a fusion champion if you were playing back then, and Eric's is a login champion if you play long enough. But really just kind of nuked my way through this. So 1 minute even. That was my fastest time. Okay. Dwarves is actually my favorite faction in the game. I just love all the champions from Dwarves. Molly's one of my favorite champions. Gala is one of my favorite epics. Trunda is one of my favorite champions ever since I started playing the game. And I damaged my way through this pretty quickly. As you can see, I don't even have really any support. Even Tormund, I don't really use as support. I don't build him with a lot of accuracy. I think I rebuilt him with a little more accuracy. So he has enough for this. Not really enough for Reno. He's just kind of hard to build because, do you build him for damage or do you build him for accuracy? It'd be nice if you could get both, but it's difficult to get both unless you just have the best gear in the world. But as you can see, this took just over a minute. My best time is 53 seconds. Now, the next one, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with Shadowkin, to be honest, because these nukers that I have, they just don't do the most AoE damage for waves. At least how I have them built now. Maybe there's a way to build them better, but I've got Kyoku just to help the team stay alive. And then I just threw in Ninja, Ginbo, and Karatu, who eventually do the job, but this isn't the most stable team. Previously, before I pulled Kyoku, I had Taragi the Frog in there, and he's at least as good, if not better than Kyoku. I don't know. They're pretty comparable for the job. I actually like her a little bit more personally. I don't really love the Frog as much as some people do. I don't know. Maybe I've just never built him super well, but I don't love him. The good thing about Ninja is he does have some damage and some control with the freeze. Obviously, it's harder to kill the other team as quickly when they're frozen, but at least my team is staying alive. So yeah, if you had a Harima or something, obviously that's going to be a whole lot better, but I sure don't have Harima. If you do, congratulations. I do not. I would love to get one, but this is the best I can do right now, which is not great. I think I've done better in the past, but this is not the run that I'm. So if you have a really clever way of getting through this, maybe an underrated epic or something, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, obviously my best time is 1 minute 19. I probably just need to do some rebuilding, to be honest. I don't love how any of those heroes or those champions are built right now. Okay, we're finally on our final faction here. I don't know why I was spamming in and out there, but this team can be a little bit faster. if my Dythy was built better. He used to have better gear on. For this run, his gear was not amazing. I've got Ornn in there. I got, what's her name? Wyrenin or something, just to keep us alive. And then I've got, oh, what's his name? Emic. Got Emic in there also to help me kind of stay alive and keep the attention of the enemy from killing my main damage dealer, keeping Dythy alive because he can die pretty quickly. Unfortunately, they get the block damage up there. The block damage and the unkillables can be really annoying. So if you can find ways to strip buffs on these waves, or if you can just be fast enough to block it, it'll really help you out. It's really something that costs me time on certain factions. This is not my fastest run by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a decent run. So all those runs, I think, were under 2 minutes. A lot of them were under 1 minute. Some were close to 30 seconds. So my entire time for all of those runs, for all 15 factions, put them together, 19 minutes. 19 minutes is a pretty good time saver when you divide it by 15 factions. So about a minute and a half per run, or a little bit less. You got to do a couple of those on this stage per faction per day. So plus what I do is I do stage 20 and then I do stage 3 to pick up the little rare materials, but put it together, and I'm only putting in 6 to 8 minutes of faction wars a day. Usually just auto running it real quick while I'm looking the other way doing something else, instead of wasting 15, 20, 30 minutes on a faction war. So let me know what you think. Was that helpful for you? I think it was helpful for me. It saved me a lot of time, and I think it could help anybody who wants to save a little bit of time in the game. So that's it. That's it for today. That is my faction war speed run. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Help me get my subscription numbers up. I'm trying to be a more regular contributor to the company or to the community, and I just really appreciate your support. So thanks so much. I'm Wilder Wednesday, and I will catch you in the next video.